right, let me get started. All right, we're going to start off here with a set of solving problems. So on your piece of paper, and I will tell y'all in advance, right, you will have to take a picture of your notes and upload it to Google Classroom every single day. Okay, so that's always going to be a part of your assignment. So make sure that you are taking the notes from the video, and this is part of it. So I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes to get done. Those of you that are not here, you can just type done in the comments, and I will know that you're ready to move on along with the people that are here, okay? All right, we're going to go over these. Again, this is the building block that we're starting with. And a lot of what we do in the first couple chapters, it all comes down to solving. Okay, it all comes down to solving. And we'll have a little bit of graphing in there, but okay, this first one. Oops. There's your equal sign. Okay. Now, variable right now is on the right side. That's important to find. Okay, this is multiplication. Opposite of multiply is divide. So finish him. Divide by 10, and I get -3. Number 2, variables on the left. This is divided by 11. What's the opposite of divide? Say it again. Guys, I'm old. Multiply. So I need to multiply by 11. Now, what that does, because this is 11 over 1, that's going to cancel out those 11s, leave me with V. Then 11 times 11 is 121. Okay. For number 3, variables here on the right. Okay, and this is where a lot of them will be, okay, that we do. You have more than just the variable term. So I have to move the 7. How do I move a positive 7? Isaac. Yep, I subtracted. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. Okay, 7 minus 7 is 0. 8 minus 7 is 1. And the n over 10, drop it like it's Now I'm basically doing problem number 2. Okay, it's divided by 10, so I'm going to times by 10. Those cancel, and I get 10 equals n. Now, one thing that's really important that we're going to be getting into, because we're going to get into inequalities. If your variable's on the right-hand side, you better initially write it on the right-hand side. Okay? Because with an inequality, there's going to be a big difference between those answers. Okay? The last one. Emily, what would I do first here? Yep. We'll multiply there. So that'd be 15. That'd be negative 5b. Okay. Here's the variable. So I have to move the 15. Okay. It's a positive 15, so I'm going to go minus 15 on both sides. Remember, same signs add, keep the sign over there. So it'd be negative 65. The negative 5b, drop it like it's quad. And finish him. Divide both sides by negative 5, and I get b equals 13. Okay, we're going to see a lot of that over these first 3 days. Okay, a lot of solving, but it's not going to be with equal signs. It's going to be with inequality symbols. Okay. Now, I'm going to skip this part because that's for just my period 7. You do not need to write this down yet. You do not need to write this down. Okay? So, what we're going to be talking about is inequalities. I don't remember what sign this is, what this is called. Is that less than or greater than? How many of you are not sure? This is, if you're not sure, let me give you this. Okay, hold up your left hand. Hold up your left hand. And this is what my teacher taught me, and I used this until like it just became natural. You see it, you do it. So I know this is my left hand. Make a triangle with my fingers. Okay? My left hand is a less than sign. That's how I always remembered that when I first learned it. I go like this, left hand, less than. Okay, so that does not look like my left hand, so that's a greater than sign. Okay, so let's just start off with something. I need to show you how this little special thing works, because the reality of solving an inequality and solving an equation is exactly the same except for one special rule. Okay, so let's just start off with the number like 20. So you agree that 20 is greater than 10, right? 20 is a bigger number than 10. Good. So if I add 2 to this, what do I get? 22. If I add 2 to this, what do I get? Does my sign still work? Yes. Okay. So we're still good. What about, takes forever to erase. What about if I subtract? If I subtract, let's just say subtract 4 and subtract 4. Left side I get, tell me. Left side I get 16, right side I get, okay? So that still works. 16 is greater than 6. Okay, still good. Okay, now let's use multiply. Multiply by 2, multiply by 2. What's 20 times 2? 40. 10 times 2. Does that still work? Is 40 greater than 20? Yes. Okay. Now, let me change one little thing. What if I multiply by -2? What is that going to do to these answers? Going to make them negative, right? Is -20 greater, or sorry, -40 greater than -20? No. So there I have a problem, okay? Multiplying by a negative, that's a problem, okay? In order to make this true, I have to adjust my sign. I have to change it to less than, okay? Let's keep using the number 2. Erase. Erase. Okay, let's divide. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. The left side, I'm going to get 10. The right side, I'm going to get, does it still work? 10 is greater than 5. What do you think is going to happen when I do this? I'm going to have to flip the sign because that's no longer true. Okay, so here's the one thing that you need to write down. Here's the one special rule. Okay, go ahead and title your notes, Solve Inequalities. Solve Inequalities. And this is the one special rule. Now, I emphasize this. It's if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative value, you must split the inequality sign. So what this is not talking about is if I do the distributive property with a negative number, okay, I just did distributive property. That's not multiplying both sides by a number. And remember, it's both multiply and divide, both. Okay? So it's extremely important that we are very careful with that last step that we do, what Mr. Malone refers to as the finish step. Really important you're careful, okay? And then really important you pay attention to where your variables are, okay? We are also going to talk about graphing as we go through, okay? So a few things with graphing to add to this. There's a difference, remember, between these. What is that line underneath? What does that mean? Good. And the part that's added is the equal to. Okay? So when we put these on line graphs, these are used, we would use a closed or a filled in dot. On these, we use an open dot. Okay? That just tells you whether that actual answer is included in all of the answers. Okay? Now, I've had people say, well, Mr. Malone, the answer is 5. Well, if it's an equal sign, I can accept that. If it's an inequality, your answer is not just going to be one thing. Okay? It's a set of values. So it's important that you're understanding as we go through what the actual solutions are. Okay? Because it's not just going to be one number. Okay? That number may be part of the answers, solutions. It may not be part of the solutions. It just depends. So let's look at, we're going to go through about 6 different examples together. Okay? Y'all ready for this? Okay. Okay, all of these have the exact same instructions. So one time, just put the instructions, solve each inequality and graph its solution. Every single one's going to be the same way. Now, irregardless of what happens throughout the problem, I want us to be in the habit of writing our final solution with the variable on the left. Okay, with our variable on the left. So you're going to see as we go through these, there's going to be a, like number one, you're going to see there goes a phase where I have to adjust it. Okay, so I start off and write it down here. 26 is greater than or equal to negative 13b. There's my inequality sign. Remember, these are just like the equal sign, so solving it, just pretend it has an equal sign there. All right? Where's the variable, left or right? Right. Okay, it's right here. That's multiplied, so I have to divide. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 13. I'll put a star here. I just did my one special rule. I just divided both sides by a negative value. So I have to flip this inequality sign. Okay? So this is going to change to be less than or equal to. 26 divided by negative 13 is negative 2. Oh, man, Mr. Malone, you're not supposed to put the v there, just the negative 13. Divided by negative 13, negative 13v divided by negative 13 is v. So that's how my answer is right now. And I should do that. I should see that on your paper. Okay? But we want to be in the habit of rewriting this so that the v is on the left. Well, there's a special way to rewrite it. That's an alligator's mouth, right? What's it eating right now? The negative 2 or the v? The v. So Lucy, if it's eating the v here, it has to be eating the v here. So this is my final answer. Okay, after I adjust it. And now the negative 2 tells me my border. It's or equal to, so I used a filled in dot. So there's the border. And now when I write it this way, the sign acts as my arrow. So it's pointing this direction, so that means it goes this way. And that shading, those are all the numbers for v that would be solutions. So when we talk about solutions, negative 2 is a solution. So is negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and every decimal that's in between those. Is 99 a solution? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up if you believe 99 is a solution, thumbs up. If you don't believe, thumbs down. Tell me. Solution or no solution? Take a guess. Thumbs up, thumbs down. 99 would be way over here. So yes, that's a solution. Is negative 7 a solution? Thumbs up, thumbs down. No, this negative 7 is over here. It's not in the shaded part. All right? Okay, let's look at number 2. Write it down if you haven't already. Okay, k is on the right. Just undo this k divided by 2 there. So to undo divided by 2, I need to multiply by 2. Now, the number I just multiplied by was a positive 2. I do not change my sign. Okay, it still stays greater than. 2 times negative 18 is negative 36. Those cancel out, leaves me with k. All right? Is that the way we want to write our final answer? Where should the k be when we write a final answer? On the left. So this is correct. This is correct. I don't want you to get confused by that. That's correct. But we want to write the final answer. So we need decay on the left, negative 36 on the right. Eating the negative 36, I just have to make sure that it's eating the negative 36 when I reverse it. Okay, so border on negative 36. It does not have the over equal to line, so use an open dot. Which way would I shade, left or right? Right? Left, good. And what's nice, when you do it this way as a final answer, that'll point you in the right direction. Or I should say, in the correct direction. Okay? So is negative 34 a solution? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Is negative 40 a solution? Yes. What about negative 36? Is that a solution? Is that dot filled in? So it's not a solution. So you got to be really careful about that. That's where I say, like I've had people in the past like, well, Mr. Lone, the answer is negative 36. Well, that's the border, but that's not actually part of the solutions. Okay? Just follow me there? Okay. Let's look at the next two. Okay, 3 and 4. You're going to see the differences in these. There's not a ton of difference. Okay. There's my inequality. David, what would I do first? The one, you're right. Tell me at least what operation you use. Multiplication. Okay, that's called the distributive property. So let's distribute, multiply that negative 6. So I get negative 6x, and I get negative 12. Variables right here on the right side. I have to move the negative 12. So I'll go plus 12. Negative, oh geez. My number went crazy. Negative 72 plus 12 is negative 60. That's 0. Get negative 6x. And now I must finish him. Divide both sides by negative 6. Oh, I just divided both sides by a negative. I have got to flip this inequality sign. So I'm going to get 10 is less than x. Okay? Right now it says 10 is less than x. That is correct answer. Okay? That is the correct answer. Hugo, how would I write this for my final solution? It's eating the x. I've got to make sure that I have it eating the x. So it turns into x is greater than 10. Okay? What type of dot should I use here, Emily? An open one or a closed one? Hello? Make sure this would be an open dot because it does not have the or equal to part. Does that make sense? That line underneath. So 10, open dot. Which way should I shade this one, Cole Michael? Left or right? Right. Good. Lucy, give me a number that would be a solution. 25 would work because 25 would be over here in the shaded area. David, give me a number that would not be a solution. 3, because 3 is over here in the unshaded part. Okay. Is 10 a solution? No, because that's an open dot. Okay, let's look at number 4, otherwise known as 4. 84 is less than or equal to 7 parentheses. 6 plus x plus there's my inequality sign. So that first thing I have to do, distribute. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 1x is 7x. Whew. X is on the right again. It's over here. I have to move the 42. I'm going to go minus 42. Now, just because I'm going minus and you see a negative number does not mean I'm going to flip my inequality sign. I'm not multiplying or dividing right now, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's going to be 42 is less than or equal to 7x. Finish here. Divide both sides by 7. I'm all good. It's going to be 6 is less than or equal to x. That is a correct answer. Olivia, how would I write this as a final answer then? Before that, you're right, it's a closed circle. If I want to rewrite this with the x on the left and the 6 on the right. Good. She already said closed circle, so we put our closed circle there. And which way should I go, Lucy? Which way would I shade, left or right? I'm looking at this. Which way does that point? Pointing to the right, so I shade to the right. It essentially is going to tell you which way you draw that arrow at the end. Okay? Is 6 a solution on this one? Yes, because that's a closed dot. The or equals to sign is there. Okay? Now, the last two, the only thing that's going to change is we're going to have a couple of variables on both sides. Okay? Wait a second. No. These are yours on your own. Sorry. I'm one ahead of myself. So, they give you all these two. I'm going to give you about, let's just say 3-4 minutes. I'll come around and check on you. Take a picture of it and zoom in. I'm gonna break you into two. I'm gonna hear you tears. I've been a praying never had me back. I've been a witness to. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go over these. Negative 106 greater than negative 7 minus 9x. Oh, that's really lagging on me. Okay, there's my equal sign. So I have to move the negative 7. Means I'm going to go plus 7 on both sides. 0 gives me negative 99. And don't forget about this negative sign that's attached there. When I drop it like it's hot, that's going to be a negative 9x. Finish him. Divide by negative 9. Oh, I just divided by a negative. I've got, oops, I pulled a Mr. Alone. This is what I call Mr. Alone. Notice how I accidentally changed that to an equal sign? I used to get mad at myself because I would do that when I was younger, and then I'd get something wrong because I changed it to an equal sign. It's not an equal sign, that was a greater than sign. Okay, I just divided both sides by negative, so I do have to flip my inequality. Okay, so I should have 11 is less than x. That's what I should have to start. That is the correct answer. Now, I need to adjust that. I want my x on the left and my 11 on the right. Right? Eating the x, eating the x. So I should have an open dot on 11, and it should be shaded going to the right. Okay? Be very careful with that part, okay, when we're adjusting it. For this one, we should have added 6 to both sides. That gives us P over 6 is less than or equal to 2. Times by 6. Hugo, do I need to flip my inequality sign? Did I multiply by a negative number? No, so then I'm good. I leave it the way it is. Okay, so I get P is less than or equal to, and 2 times 6 is 12. Now it's nice, my P is already on the left, so I don't have to adjust anything. It's already set for me. Close dot on 12, and this one goes to the left. Okay. Questions on these two? Okay, we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more, and I'm going to set you loose on homework so I can help you guys out individually. Okay? I forgot I had that set in there for you guys to try. So I want you to write down, let's go ahead and write down number 7. Write down number 7. Okay? So I have on the left side 8n plus 2n plus 3 is less than n plus 5 plus 7n. And I need to solve this. Well, this is the first one of inequalities. Where are the variables at, left side or right side? Both sides. So I got a lot of work to do. Now, you will see some problems with that are like number 8 that have the distributive property in them. You would have to distribute. This one does not have that. I just need to add my like terms. So the 8n and the 2n need to be added together. 8n plus 2n is 10n. And the 3 plus 3, drop it like it's hot. Today. On the right side, I have 1n and 7n. That's going to be 8n. Now notice, I did not just add all the n's. You got to stay on your own side. Okay? So my variables are still on both sides. Now let's get them on the same side. So I'm going to move my 8n to the left. It's a positive 8n. So remember, that means you go minus 8n on both sides. And that's 0. And these will get added up in a second. Since all the n's are on the left, I have to move the 3 to the right. It's positive 3, so I'm going to go minus 3. That's 0. Whoa. And these will get added up. That's going to leave me with 2n is less than, finish him. Divide by 2. Kind of nice when you do it this way because your n's are already on the left. You're not going to have to adjust anything. N is less than 1. Open dot. Which direction, left or right? Left. That's like Beyonce said. Isn't it Beyonce who said to the left, to the left? Or am I mistaken? To the left, to the left. I don't know the other words, but I know she says to the left. That's all I got. Okay. Now, I'm going to be getting you guys or reminding you of like Alg's passwords, that kind of stuff individually. Let me slide this over real quick. Yeah, you should still have it because it's not going to change. You go to classwork. You go to classwork, and I'll share this tab instead for those of you at home. Okay. Under week of 1-4, that's where you're going to find your assignment. I do have this stuff as important information. And I'm going to be reminding you of what that login username and password are. So make sure that you open that up. Again, if you had me last semester, you should have that in your Algebra 1A login username stuff. I just want to make sure you still have that stuff. Okay, so go ahead and open up the homework assignment. This is what it looks like. Okay. There is one thing that you need to do that's extra. You need to do a screencastify over number 13. Okay. So on this one, you should be doing a screencastify on 13. You can either use screencastify, or if you want to do a comment, okay, you can add a comment to it and just do an audio or video comment, and I'd be able to grade it that way also. Okay, either way works. Yes. No, don't leave the other one. All right. So let's go ahead and get to work. I believe I left the answers at the very bottom. Yep. Answer at the bottom, meaning I have to see the work. Okay. If I don't see work, I can't give you any credit. Okay. It'll just look to me like you cheated on it. And guys, I understand there's not much work to show for number one. Show the step that you did. Okay. So let's get rolling. For those of you that are here, once this actually scrolls, once I get this to work, I'll get the answers to stay up here and show up for you. All right. Alex and Mia, if you have questions, you can stay and work on them. If not, you're good to go. And we will see you both tomorrow. If you do have a question, just put something in the comments and I'll make sure I come back to you, okay?